are listening to Rocket Shop Radio Hour here at Big Heavy World. I'm your host, Abbey BK, and we're starting the show a little earlier today. It's 5 p.m. and in the studio we have a very special performance and a group here, Green Mountain Chamber Music Festival for students and a quartet. How are you all doing?
Good.
Wow. Yeah, welcome to this
us.
space. We love having Green Mountain here every year. It's now like a tradition. I don't know how many years we've done it. Maybe like 2 or 3 now?
No, more.
More than that? 5 maybe? I don't know. Anyways, we love to have you here. I've experienced the quartets playing for like 2 or 3, so I can only speak from mine. But yeah, would love to just go around in your semicircle and just introduce yourself, your name, your age, and your instrument. So we'll start over here on the left.
Okay, my name is Josephine. I'm 17 years old and I play the violin.
I'm Laura. I just turned 18 and I also play the violin.
I'm Eliza. I'm 17 and I play viola.
I'm Amelia. I'm 17 and I play cello.
Awesome. Oh, so exciting. So is this your first time at the festival, or have any of you been here before?
Eliza and I were both here last year as well.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And for the other two, it's your first
Yeah, it was
time?
our first
Yeah.
year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what brought you back for your second time for the two of you that are here again?
I loved the teacher I had last year and I wanted to come back and study with her. And I really like the focus on chamber music because that's really what has drawn me to music over the years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think similarly to Eliza, the kind of like environment of like such intense focus on chamber music specifically was really appealing to me. So.
Yeah. So take us through like how they but put you together in your quartet. Obviously, you're more than one pair. But how does that process work, like behind the scenes? How did you all end up together in this group?
Well, we just kind of got an email that was like, your new quartet mates. But I think that mostly happens behind the scenes. I think it's a combination of our audition videos and probably the artistic director who like kind of matches people based on levels and yeah. But otherwise we got to know each other via email and text and FaceTime.
Yeah. So were you communicating before the actual festival started? When did you like figure out that you were all together?
We, like Amelia said, we got an email just like saying all of our names. And so we connected and texted for a while, and we FaceTimed a little bit just to plan out, like our thoughts on the piece and what we're going to wear for our concert and things like that.
It's a big debate.
So yeah, we definitely talked a little bit before the program started.
Oh, I love that. And I know off air that you had shared that you're not from Vermont. So can we go around and also say like where people are from and you're obviously here now, but.
Yeah, I'm from Arlington, Virginia.
I am from Needham, Massachusetts in the Boston area.
I'm from Dobbs Ferry, New York.
I'm from New York City, like Manhattan.
Yeah. Well, that's so cool. I mean, it's bringing everyone together, right?
Yeah.
So take us through like a day in your life. Obviously, it's like quite an intensive program in the best way. You learn a lot. So I know you have a very busy schedule, and the lineup of events at Green Mountain Chamber Music Festival impresses me every year. There's so many concerts and things happening. It's like blows my mind. You all work so hard. So what is that? What's like a day in the life? Like what has your past few weeks been like?
I think it varies definitely from instrument to instrument and especially from person to person. But every morning, at least the cellists in my studio, we wake up. Well, everyone wakes up by 7, and we have dedicated 4 hours of practice in the morning from 8 to 12. But for the first hour, my studio does a group technique class. So we have a good time doing that, and then we have the rest of the time practicing. Then the rest of the day is pretty much quartet rehearsal, quartet coachings with one of the faculty members, which happens about, I think, twice a week. And then there's a myriad of talks given by faculty and guests, and then emerging artists concerts, which are either chamber music concerts or solo concerts given by students, and 2 faculty concerts every week. So It's definitely packed schedule, but it's really fun between the like personal private practice time and the time to kind of collaborate with other people, and then obviously there's always time to have fun and hang out.
Right, yeah. So is that the same schedule for like all of the instruments, or does anyone else have any variation?
It's pretty much the same. At least for my studio, we didn't really do like group technique classes on a regular basis, but we did have studio class once every week, and we have lessons in the mornings also, and then in the afternoons we get like 1 hour of chamber music rehearsal that's just built in for us. But the groups are also kind of encouraged to schedule more time outside of that, and I know we definitely do. We rehearse a lot in the afternoons, and it's been really beneficial for us just to like get to spend more time together as a quartet.
Yeah. I imagine the relationship that you form, not only like friendship wise, but also in your dynamic with playing, is really important. So can you speak more on that? Like, how has that been, like, kind of forming that relationship where you can communicate musically with one another?
I mean, it's been pretty great. I feel like our whole friend group is like our quartet plus the other 2 people in our suite, and a couple other people, but it's kind of crazy to be able to spend this much time together and get to know each other on such a deep level, because we're spending like hours together every day between meals and our chamber rehearsal, and I haven't been in a type of program before where people are so excited to keep rehearsing and to keep diving deeper into a piece, which I think is something like really special about Green Mountain, like where people are going to a camp where they voluntarily practice 4 hours a day. Like, yes, we are all dedicated enough to put in all this time for chamber music, and I don't know, it's just been really special.
Yeah, I think just adding to what Laura said, for me, like, that's something that particularly draws me to chamber music, is like the personal aspect, because I just think it's so cool how like you just very quickly have to connect with people on like such a deep level. Like, I mean, we've only known each other for 4 weeks, but I still feel like I know you guys like extremely well, just because in order to like dive into a piece like this, you really have to like get to know the people. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely, like, even as you're just walking from your lesson to your dorm, people will smile at you and you see people carrying around their funny instruments and it's just everyone has something in common. And I'd say during the school year, at least, like, it's much more of a niche thing to play chamber music, but it's lovely to be able to just strike off a conversation with like anyone you're around, or sight read spontaneously. Like, we did the Mendelssohn octet
It was fun.
with our quartet plus 4 other people, and it was nice that we had the instrumentation for that. That was pretty lucky. But yeah, just to be able to do that for fun. I mean, it's super nerdy, but it's like, I love it.
No, I love that. And I love when people are passionate like that and you can come together in this big passionate group. How fun. So I know 2 of you said that you've been here before, obviously, for the festival. So for the other 2, is this your first time spending time in Vermont? And for the 2 that have been here before, was last year the first time that you'd been like in this area as well?
Do you guys want to start?
I'd never been to Vermont before.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd studied like U.S. geography, and I like knew the capital of Vermont. But aside from that, I don't think I knew anything else. I mean, I knew there was obviously a lot more greenery than it is in New York City, but it's been a nice change of pace, definitely. Yeah.
It's confusing. The capital is not Burlington, right? I mean, as a Burlingtonian, I'm a little biased, but you know, it's okay. Anyways, how about everyone else?
Well, I'd been to a music camp, Point Counterpoint. 45 minutes away or something, and that's actually where I met Eliza 2 summers ago.
We're in the same cabin and the same
cabin,
chamber group.
Same chamber group.
Oh, I love that.
So it was really nice to. And then when I saw her name on the email, I like double checked, looked her up on Instagram. I was like, oh my gosh, is that Eliza? And I was like, wait, I know someone. And then we ended up being in the same dorm too. So it was really nice to have like that connection going in. But it's just been absolutely beautiful here in Vermont, and to get to experience Burlington too. Like, we have a lot of fun going into the city on weekends. I think we're gonna go busking tomorrow too.
Oh, fun. And is that something that's like set up by the coordinators, or are you have free time and you just want to busk?
A lot of just friends will go out and play a lot of canon and D.
I love that. Wait.
Not to spoil our set list.
Where are you busking? Where can we hear you busk?
Mostly on Church Street is usually where a lot of the students will go.
And when is this happening?
Tomorrow.
We're going tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
News to me. But no, there's students always playing on Church Street.
Oh, I love that.
You should come support us in particular.
Yes, no, totally. I'll have to take a little stroll down to Church Street. How about the 2 of you in Vermont?
So last year was my first time coming to Vermont, and I think I really like fell in love with it just because it's gorgeous. I remember last year, my first time like kind of going outside of the college campus was when they took us to see the fireworks on 4th of July. And just seeing like the lake and everything was like, it was gorgeous. And I think that was, in addition to like the music side of things, that was another aspect that like drew me back to Green Mountain, was like getting to spend time here.
Yeah.
For me, I've actually been going to Vermont since I was really small. I'd say like about 5-6 years old because my grandparents live in Brattleboro.
Oh, okay.
And they're also musicians.
Nice.
But yeah, so I don't know. I've just always loved Vermont. It's been like associated with summertime for me because like, you know, visit the family, and getting to be here and do stuff instead of just kind of sitting around all day is
Right.
really a gift.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're all enjoying your stay in Vermont. So I know like one of the kind of most infamous Green Mountain events is the quartet hops. I feel like that's one that people know. And you're talking about busking, which I feel like it's similar in the sense of performing in different shops along Church Street and allowing people to access classical music that might not like expect it, like in an unexpected place. What was that experience like? And are there any like other standout performances that you have had so far that you just have really enjoyed?
Well, I think performing at Phoenix Books during the quartet hop last Saturday was our first, I think, real performance as a quartet.
Okay.
I
Nice.
mean, we had like played for a coach, but besides that, there wasn't really a real performance.
Yeah.
So that as a quartet, that's definitely something that stood out. But I guess on a more individual level, I performed in the Emerging Artists for the first opening Emerging Artists concert. I played a Beethoven piece with a wonderful pianist at Green Mountain, and I had a really good time. The hall's lovely at St. Michael's, and it was a great way to kick off the festival for me, at least. Yeah.
Nice. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think the quartet hop, like Amelia was saying, was really beneficial to us as a group because, you know, like I said, we just had 4 weeks together, so it's not that long to get to like really dive into the piece. So I think having that performance opportunity like in a little bit more of an informal setting was like really beneficial to us. Like I feel like we're like giving a gift to like the community, but then they're also kind of giving a gift to us because like that was, I think, really beneficial to get to like practice performing in that setting. And then for like another performance that I guess was really influential for me was actually last year. My chamber group got coached by the Miro Quartet, and then we got to perform in like the prelude to their concert.
Wow.
And I think it was just really inspiring to me to get to like be here because it's such a great opportunity to get to like connect with like, I mean, world class, like amazing quartets that I would have never like really gotten to see or connect with on that level outside of Green Mountain.
Totally. Any other favorite performances?
I mean, I also agree with Josephine and Amelia about how the quartet hop was really, it just sort of opened my mind to how fun a performance could be. Because a lot of the time there's a lot of pressure to like be perfect and like, oh, everyone's watching you, but it was really just to see all the people who wanted to like come out of their dorms and just go into town and watch other groups play. Like that was really sweet because there was such a sense of community, which I feel like it isn't there at a lot of other summer festivals. I think that's what makes Green Mountain special, is that like we have such a connection with Burlington. But actually I would say my favorite performance like experience was when the Ballardet Quartet came. They came last year too, and they're sort of like young up and coming quartet. I mean, they're already very accomplished, but they gave a couple talks about how to sort of interact within a quartet setting, and it ended with us all chanting Haydn, and I don't know, just like watching them have so much fun was like really inspiring to bring that to our own rehearsals and performances.
Yeah, I love that. Any other thing to add? Or
I don't have anything
on
else
the
to
same
add.
note?
I mean, it's all been pretty great. I love going down and watching my peers perform in the quartet hop, and just to kind of like be in a shop like that and share a moment together in such a different space than we usually perform in. And like to watch my friends perform like that, it's really special. Trying to think if I have any favorite performances. The Ballardet Quartet came. That was wonderful. We heard the Pacifica Quartet last night, also at Ellie Long. There's these faculty concerts on Tuesday and Friday. There's only one left, but it's just been fantastic to watch like all of our teachers get together and play chamber music, and like I guess it's a little bit of something to look up to.
Yeah, I love that. What great connections you've made. Well, I know that you have a piece to play for us. So can you tell us a little bit more about what you're playing? And I know that you said that this has been a piece that you've been practicing since the beginning, right? So how about a little introduction to the piece, and then we'll let you have at it.
Oh, everyone's looking at me. I think I introduced this last time, which is why everyone's looking at me. Well, today we'll be playing all 4 movements this time of the Mendelssohn String Quartet Opus 44 number 2 in E minor. Oh my god, we have that on recording.
Some
E minor.
major, just a minor.
But yeah, it's 4 movements, so it's gonna be a little longer than we're used to playing, but we had a couple good run-throughs, and I'm excited to give it a test run before our concert on Friday.
Yeah, you got it.
I love Mendelssohn String Quartets because they're so because he's on that sort of borderline between classical and romantic. Like, you get the singing nature, but you also get this sort of lighthearted and very, I guess, polished sense. But you can really express your emotions. And like, this one is actually a bit more like subdued, I think, than some of his other quartets, especially in the beginning of the first movement. It's a little bit like something's brewing underneath. I don't know if you guys feel that way too. We've talked a lot about it in rehearsal. But no, I mean, this one sort of has the best of Mendelssohn. I think it's got his highs, his lows, his mediums.
Love it.
Yeah, I mean, this piece for me, it came as a little bit of a surprise because I haven't done a lot of Mendelssohn chamber music before. I come from like a big musical family with a lot of chamber music, but most of what I hear a lot of Haydn string quartets because my dad loves to play Haydn string quartets. He has this little pie chart of like all his chamber music sessions, and a good 50% of it is Haydn. So that's what I'm used to, and I'm a Haydn lover. But so it was kind of surprising, I guess, like going into that FaceTime meeting and hearing like, oh, these people love Mendelssohn, and like I'd listened to it a couple times and I liked it, but it was something a little bit new for me. Like the first 3 pieces out of the 5 that we presented to our coach to say, like, let's play this, they were Mendelssohn, and we ended up getting our first pick, and it's just been kind of a crazy journey for me because it's not necessarily what I'm used to, and I think especially the second movement was a little shocking to me because I'm used to like fast, slow, fast, like with a concerto because I play a lot of concertos. But like to have a second movement be like fast and major in a completely different mood from everything else was surprising, but I love this piece. It's pretty great.
Yeah. Well, thanks for providing some context. That's helpful. But yeah, we're excited to hear you. So. Green Mountain Chamber Music Fest. Amazing. Thank you all so much. So I know this is like the last week of the festival, right? So you're closing things out. I guess kind of just to end, like what's next for all of you and what do you all aspire to do, like whether musically or, outside of music?
Do you guys want to start since you're like going to college?
Okay. I'm really excited because I'm going to Oberlin College and Conservatory.
Nice.
So I'm going to do double degree there for viola performance and undecided, and it's a liberal arts school, so it's pretty flexible with the undecided.
Yeah, congrats. All that's exciting.
And I plan to play a lot more chamber music there.
Nice.
Laura?
I will be going to UMass Amherst next year for nursing as my major, but I've got a music minor, and I've got like 3 music classes scheduled for my first semester, so I'm really excited. I hope to keep doing as much music as possible, taking lessons, doing chamber music, doing orchestra. One thing I love especially is playing in the pit orchestra for musicals. I've gotten to do 6 or 7 of those, and that is one of my favorite things ever. So just trying to do as much music as I can.
Yeah, love it. Exciting. Congrats.
For me, well, I still have another year of high school left, but after that, I'm hoping to go to school for violin performance. And then I want to do something chamber music related for my career. I essentially want to be like all the faculty at Green Mountain, which is why it's so inspiring to be here. So yeah, that's my hope.
Just like Josephine, I have another year. I'm going to be a senior in high school this coming fall. What's on the docket for me is I'm definitely applying and auditioning for conservatories. I definitely want to do a major, so I want to get my degree in cello performance, hopefully double major in some kind of political science or international relations, but probably continuing my career as a cellist. And I always kind of bounce around on what I want to do for my career. There's some days I want to be a soloist, other days I want to be a chamber musician or an orchestra musician. But right now, I do ballet, and I've been doing ballet for most of my life, and I think a nice way of melding the two is I'd like to be the conductor for orchestras for ballets. Wow. So that's kind of where I've got my eyes set for now.
Yeah.
But that's always subject to change.
Well, you'll figure it out. Trust me. It seems like it's confusing at the time, but it will all work out. Well, yeah, thank you all so much for coming on the show. This has been a real pleasure, as always, to have Green Mountain Chamber Music Fest on the show. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much for having
Thank
us.
you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
so
and
much.
good luck to all of you with all of your future endeavors. And for those listening, thanks so much for tuning in to Rocket Shop Radio Hour. Next week, we will be back to our regularly scheduled programming at 8 p.m., so make sure to tune in next Wednesday. But as for now, this has been Rocket Shop. Once again, I'm your host, Abbey BK, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Killed it.
Yep.
Thank you so much.